Fourier representation for signals. As we discussed earlier, for finding the output of a system, for a system may be continuous time system, a system may be discrete time system. We discussed about the convolution sum and convolution integral. Convolution sum for a discrete time system and convolutional integral for finding the response of the system. If the system is said to be continuous time, then we are using convolution integral. But these convolution sum and convolution integral that provides convenient way to find the response of an LTI system if its impulse response is not. But as we know that an LTI system can be completely characterized by its impulse response. So in a Fourier representation, in this session, whatever we are discussing, we represent a signal as a weighted superposition of complex sinusoidals. If such a signal is applied to an LTI system, then the system output is a weighted superposition of the system outputs to each complex sinusoidals. The representation of signals and system using complex sinusoidals is called as Fourier representation. This is because of Joseph Fourier, given the very much contribution towards his theory. Because of his theory, we are calling this representation as a Fourier representation after Joseph Fourier. Okay, towards his contribution. Now let's discuss when we are going to uh, nothing but prime properties of a signal and its appropriate Fourier representation. Time properties means if the given signal is said to be continuous time signal. See, if the signal is continuous time signal, and here I will write periodic and aperiodic. Okay. So time property. This one is indicates that time property. If the signal is said to be continuous time signal, as well as if that continuous time signal is said to be periodic in nature, if we are finding the Fourier representation, if we are finding the Fourier representation for that Fourier representation, then the result is called as Fourier series. Then the result is called as Fourier series, or we can say CTFS, or we can say CTFS. Fourier representation for the which signal? A signal is said to be continuous time signal as well as it is in periodic nature. Then that Fourier representation is called as CTFS, continuous time Fourier series. If that continuous time signal is said to be aperiodic in nature, non-periodic in nature, for that kind of signal, if we are calculating Fourier representation for that, then the signal is called as result is called as CTFT, that is continuous time Fourier transform. So as for this discussion, we come to know that for the given signal, if the signal is said to be continuous in nature, continuous time signal, if it is periodic, that Fourier representation is called as Fourier series, continuous time Fourier series. If the signal CTS is said to be aperiodic in nature, then for that, if you are representing in Fourier representation, that Fourier representation is called as continuous time Fourier transform, CTFT. Similarly, I will go for next case, time property, that is discrete time signal, DTS. The signal is said to be discrete in nature. For that signal, if the given discrete time signal is said to be periodic in nature, for that, if you are representing in Fourier representation, result is called as discrete time Fourier series. Discrete time Fourier series. Similarly, if that discrete time signal is said to be aperiodic in nature, or we can say non-periodic in nature, then for that, if you are representing in Fourier representation, that is called as DTFT, discrete time Fourier transform. So this is brief description about Fourier representation for the signal. Now let us start DTFT. as per our syllabus, I will directly start DTFT. Discrete time, discrete time, Fourier transform. Discrete time, Fourier transform. So that one we are going to discuss. Mainly, the DTFT is used for analysis of non-periodic discrete time signals. See here, you can refer this cell, this block. So DTFT is for what? It is used. DTFT is used for what? Analysis of non-periodic, or we can say aperiodic discrete time signals. So let us consider one discrete time signal. I am going to consider. Let us consider one discrete time signal that is indicated by x of n. Now for this discrete time signal x of n, if I find DTFT, discrete time Fourier transform, then that one I am going to write it as x of omega equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n discrete time signal multiplied by e to the power minus j omega n. So let us represent equation number 1. Okay, fine. Now see here, here in this equation, omega stands for, it is what? It is the frequency of the discrete time signal. Frequency of the discrete time signal. Now, so we know about omega. Next, x of omega stands for, it is spectrum. It is what? It is spectrum of discrete time signal. So the equation 1 is called as analysis equation. Equation 1 is called as, this equation is called as analysis equation. So we know how to find the discrete time Fourier transform for the given discrete time signal is by using this equation. Okay, fine. Now we will discuss existence of DTFT. Existence something, but we can say that convergence. Here I am going to write existence or convergence. Existence, or we can say that convergence of discrete time Fourier transform. The existence or convergence of DTFT means, in the definition of DTFT, we observe that there is a summation. Okay, in the definition of DTFT, it is what? Definition of DTFT. In the definition of DTFT, we observe that summation term is there, summation over the infinite range minus infinity to plus infinity is there. So n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity. Hence, for DTFT to exist, so this result to exist, the convergence or existence of summation is necessary. So the equation 1 will converge, or the equation 1 will exist, nothing but x of n is absolutely summable. X of n is absolutely summable means that one we are going to write it as summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity mod of x of n is less than infinity. Absolutely summable means, as I told in the equation 1, n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity is there, but for DTFT to exist, the convergence of this summation term is necessary. So equation 1 will converge, or the equation 1 will exist only when if x of n is absolutely summable. X of n is absolutely summable means that should be finite result. Then only we can say that DTFT is exist. If x of n is not absolutely summable, then it should be have finite energy of DTFT to exist. So if it is not absolutely summable, then one more condition we are using, that is n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity mod of x of n whole square less than infinity. It means finite energy for DTFT, finite energy for DTFT for DTFT to exist. So that one we are indicating by this equation. So we discussed about, so note that we discussed two cases here, existence or convergence of DTFT. While discussing this topic, we discussed two cases. One is if x of n is absolutely summable, we are using this condition, first condition. If not, if x of n is not absolutely summable, then what we are doing, it should have finite energy for DTFT to exist. So for that case, we are using this equation.